Jai Banjade, Chief of Party, GRAD project, Graduation with Resilience to Achieve Sustainable Development. GRAD is trying to accomplish, find ways to graduate a food insecure household to food security. That is the overall idea of GRAD. But then to prove that the methods and systems that we develop are able to do that, we will have to practically graduate 50,000 households working with about 65,000 households and graduate them in terms of assets, improved assets, diversified livelihoods, more income, and more resilience. We have a couple of strategies. We are working on various value chains, also in income generating activities or farm income generating activities. We are also working on microfinance because in Ethiopia, although there are very successful microfinance institutions, they are mostly working in urban and semi-urban areas. And in a rural area, there is a lack of access to microfinance. We are trying to improve that one. But also we have several resiliency strategies such as women empowerment, nutrition, climate change adaptation, and aspiration. Basically in push-pull, what we have been talking about in Ethiopia is we need to build the capacity of the farmers to produce in right quantity and quality the things that are demanded by the market. So developing their capacity is more or less defined as push strategies and linking them with the markets and other service providers, that is kind of interpreted as pull strategy. When USAID talks about pull and push, they usually define certain projects as pull projects and certain as push project. For example, GRAD is a push project and AGP is a pull project. But within GRAD also we have pull and push strategy, because the way we define that is, of course we have several things to build the capacity of PSNP households. We call them push strategy, but preparing them to link with outsiders, with markets, with service providers, microfinance institutions, training providers maybe in the future. So working with them to make them able to successfully have these commercial relationships, we call them pull strategy. I think PSNP Plus also was a pretty strong design, and the achievements we had in less than 3 years were remarkable. But then we learned from that implementation of PSNP Plus that there were major holes. For example, we did not have provision to develop input-output markets. Agrovets, for example, the local village level dealers to provide inputs like fertilizer, medicine for livestock, and also village level processing. So we had assumed that those things were probably in the village, and then we did not put a lot of emphasis, and that is what one thing we are fixing. And another thing, another big one for me is we learned from PSNP Plus that the projects like this in Ethiopia are vulnerable to several things. Like number one is climate change. Another is we found that if we are able to convince the beneficiaries that graduation would lead to a better situation, then they would have desire to graduate. So they will start to voluntarily graduate rather than forced graduation. So we realized that aspiration, working on their aspiration and then their plan to graduate, those were very important. And nutrition was another. So we have come up with 4 resiliency strategies. I think those are something new we are doing in GRAD. Just to give you an example, in 2009, the achievement of PSNP Plus was not very good, whereas in 2010 it was very good. And that was mainly because of the drought in 2009 that made us think that we really have to take into account the climate change adaptation strategies. So these are probably the two most important lessons that we have built in the GRAD. But there are many, when you come to sort of operational level, there are many, many lessons learned that we have tried to build in GRAD. The thing is, I have been working in this area for over 2 decades now, and then I feel personally that there are not many successful tools to help very, very poor people come out of chronic food insecurity and other terrible poverty. And yes, microfinance has done a lot of good, but then we also know that particularly with this kind of population, microfinance alone will not be able to get them out of poverty. So I see that in PSNP Plus we learn a lot of things, how to work with this kind of population, very poor people. And we built in those lessons in GRAD, and GRAD gives a hope that probably will find pathways to get very poor people out of real poverty.